because tech analyst Tony Sacconaghi, great guy, probably your friend of this network, calling Tesla his best idea for 2024. However, he's calling shorting Tesla his best idea. In other words, betting Tesla stock falls. Tony joined CNBC earlier today.
We think Tesla's earnings are going to be flat next year. We think they're going to have to lower expectations around deliveries for next year. And the stock is trading at nearly 100 times our estimate for next year's earnings. I think 24 and 25 are going to be pretty tough years for Tesla.
Now, the short call follows what could be described as a bad week for Tesla.
So hold up a sec. I just want to make sure that everybody understands this isn't a deep fake. This isn't satire. This isn't an SNL skit. Tony Sacconaghi, an analyst on Wall Street, who regularly asks questions, occasionally slightly boring and or boneheaded questions on Tesla earnings calls, who's been covering the stock since 2016. And during that period of time hasn't once had a buy rating, awkward, has named his best call, best idea for 2024, shorting Tesla stock, betting against Tesla, betting against innovation, betting against disruption, betting against transformation, betting against technology, betting against Elon Musk, betting against the world's best engineers, betting against a company with an unassailable data lead, betting against a company with more scale and higher profits on their vehicles, betting against a company with the best technology. That's his best idea. Is there any way, ladies and gentlemen, that you know of where I can short Tony Sacconaghi or his calls? I mean, I guess the best I could think of is just continue buying Tesla stock with every spare cent, since I'm long and he thinks the best idea is to short. Oh, the poor guy. I mean, you just have to feel sorry for Tony. You know, he's probably got an IQ of 150 plus. But unfortunately, because Tony's so smart, he knows that Tesla's just a car company, and therefore you just need to use the just a car company spreadsheet to create a valuation model, which only includes just a car company sells. And you find yourself in the situation where you've been covering the stock for almost a decade. That's increased, 25x in that time. You've not once recommended people buy it. And now, at the end of 2023, you're out in the open publicly saying that your best idea for next year is to short Tesla stock. Does anyone know Tony? I mean, somebody's got to stage an intervention. The poor guy. I mean, oh boy.
In Europe, you got a union in Finland joining several Nordic unions and striking against Tesla.
Oh yeah, regarding the whole union BS, evil organizations. Don't get me started. I've already covered this stuff, but holy shit, dude. Unions need to vanish, disappear, be deleted. As for virtue signaling pension funds, clearly in the pockets of unions, something collusion, something corruption, these funds better be careful. If they're dumping a stock for political reasons, for reasons of corruption, they may not be doing their fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders. Watch out for the impending lawsuits, you dumb fucks.
Over a collective bargaining deal, one of Denmark's largest pension funds announcing plans to sell Tesla stock over the dispute. The stock basically doubling already this year, Dan. I mean, I'm not going to say blame the Danes, but, listen, Teslas are huge in those countries because gasoline is like $10 a gallon, even though they all get rich in Norway pumping out oil. What's your take on the call, and should people sell Tesla?
Look, I mean, the bears, it's been a brutal year for the bears. And, and obviously, Tony does great work. But I think what's not in the spreadsheets is what basically is the transformation that's happening in the audience.
All right. He called it. I mean, I spoke too soon. The Dan's hit the nail on the head here. Tony and many of the other derps on Wall Street, years ago, they've been covering the automotive industry for years. That's their area of expertise. Somebody goes, oh, hey, buddy, there's this new company, Tesla. Catch. All right, you're covering them now too because they're just a car company. And the high IQ, low on common sense analyst says, great, cool, I'll just whip out my just a car company spreadsheet and just jam Tesla in there. In essence, trying to shove Tesla through a car company shaped hole. Oh, yep. They sell some products that have wheels, they're cars. All right, so we need gross automotive margins, we need average selling price, and that's pretty much it. Great, perfect. Now, what kind of multiple do we put on a typical automotive manufacturer who's been around for 30, 40, 50, 70, 80, 100 plus years and is barely growing, if at all, has razor-thin margins, no engineering talent, no innovation, no technology? Great, cool, perfect. Oh, and all that other stuff about Tesla, well, there's no CLMS spreadsheet for that, so just ignore it. And all the things that are obviously around the corner, brewing, yeah, we can ignore that too because there's no CLMS spreadsheet for that either.
Auto industry, Tesla is leading it. Now the next phase of the Tesla growth story is happening. And I think valuation, these analysts continue to call Tesla just an auto company. That's basically saying, that Steph Curry is just a basketball player.
So I get the point about the analysts being wrong about Tesla just being a car company. I'm not a basketball expert, not even really a fan, to be honest. I'm not quite sure that analogy's landing there, though. Maybe he sees Steph Curry as a brand ambassador for a bunch of companies as well as I don't know. Anyway, back to Dan, but not sure that analogy landed.
Why?
Because you look at it's disruptive tech. And I think you're starting to now see whether it comes to supercharger, whether it comes to battery technology, whether it comes to full self-driving. And I would argue this could be one of the purest play AI names out there. That's why the stock looks like Rock of Gibraltar going into 24, despite numbers that have come down.
So Dan's absolutely nailed it here. Major mistake, a lot of the supposed analysts who apparently aren't analysing Tesla, they're just assuming about Tesla on Wall Street is assuming that Tesla is just a car company and ignoring everything else. I'm going to check my spreadsheet. Is there a sell for disruption? No? Oh, okay, well, ignore that. Cost curves? Nope, ignore that. Unassailable data lead? Nope, ignore that. World's best engineers? Nope, ignore that. Incredible leadership? Nope, ignore that. Most scale? Nope, ignore that. Compelling technology, best products, best software? Nope, ignore that. A decade plus lead, understanding how to thermally manage, but nope, ignore that. Okay, yeah, lots of things to ignore, but don't worry. I'm sure that doesn't matter to my valuation because Tesla's just a car company, so all the non-car company things don't exist. I'm an analyst. My best idea for the year is to short Tesla stock. Holy hell.
This beast, deliveries. Talk to me about how transformational this might be for the company.
It's a historic moment. I mean, it's 4 years in the making, and I think the reason it's important in terms of this could be another growth vehicle for Musk and Tesla. And it also just shows what's happened. 313 area code, GM, Ford peeling back a little on EVs. Tesla is doubling down.
Dan's right, and this is important, and also it's going to be very embarrassing a few years from now. Companies like Ford and General Motors, who, if they're diluted, may see themselves as Tesla's competition, but they don't have compelling products. They can't produce them for reasonable prices. They are not competing with Tesla today. Right when they should be accelerating at lightning speed, attempting, in vain, let's be honest, to catch up to Tesla. They're literally slowing down, scaling back. I'll tell you what, a few years from now, as we crack the 50% of all new vehicles sold being electric, ICE vehicle sales are collapsing. Profits on ICE vehicle sales have collapsed and possibly already turned negative. And there are massive, desperate, urgent revisions for goals and plans from these automotive manufacturers, especially regarding how many ICE vehicles they intend on producing and selling in the future. They're going to look back to the moment they slow down and wonder, what the fuck were we thinking? Wait, we weren't thinking. Oh, that's right. Makes sense now.
And I think this is an important moment. And you go back over the years, many times been counted out, but yet they've come out in a flex the muscles moment.
I want to talk margins a little bit more with you, but just on the point you made, bringing up GM and Ford, are we finding out that people just want Teslas? They don't want EVs?
What we're finding out is Tesla doesn't exist in a vacuum, and consumers don't want to pay premium prices for turds. Even if you put a few sprinkles, maybe even stick a candle in the turd, a turd's a turd. And it's a pretty small market for turds in which you can also buy something like a Tesla. These are just unfortunately the facts. There's nothing in the market available with comparable features and functionality for a similar price to a Tesla vehicle. With the rare exception, there are some companies with extremely low volumes of vehicles who are pretty close on many specs, although the software sucks harder than a vacuum. The performance generally not quite there. But in order for these companies to compete with Tesla on price, where Tesla makes insane profits per vehicle sold, these companies lose tens of thousands of dollars per vehicle. Obviously, that's not sustainable. I mean, there is a market clearing price for turds. The problem is the market clearing price for turds results in big losses per turd sold. So, yeah.
Look, I think it's a serious question here because, wanting an EV versus do you actually just want a Tesla? And I think you're starting to see now a moderation in terms of EV demand. Now, clearly, Tesla's had the price war that we've talked about in China. That's definitely, left a bit of a stain. But I do think from a scale and scope perspective, you look at Fisker reducing guidance again today, no one could match the scale and scope of Musk and Tesla. And I think that lead continues to further be there. And I think that's what's happened, a little humble pie maybe with traditional automakers.
Well, John Lawler was on yesterday, CFO of Ford, and he was talking about how there was a different audience for the initial Teslas because it was the first adopters. And they were willing to pay a price premium, and they were willing to come in, and they were Tesla adopters. The ones who are coming in now are looking for price, value, quality, et cetera. It is a different pool where that can be pulled away more aggressively. In that kind of environment, does Tesla's margin story start to get eroded?
I think, and John talked about it, I think that's, right now, that's the balancing act. Because if you look from a margin perspective, it's really been volume over margins. In the street, so far, that's been the right strategy. Next 2-3 quarters, you need to see margins trough out, level out here. But when you look at Cybertruck, look, essentially, they'll be losing, let's say, $30,000, $40,000 per vehicle for the next year and a half. Then it starts to become profitable. But that is the near-term pain for long-term gain that they need to do in what continues to be this green tidal wave.
To John's point when he's saying people just want a Tesla, I wonder how much that's people wanting to ride Elon Musk's wave, and how much that was really the feeling a number of years ago, how much some of the recent high-profile...
Oh, here we go. So, look, let's be honest. There's a very, 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 very small number of people who wanted to buy Tesla, did buy Tesla because they love Elon. The vast majority of people who've purchased Teslas historically, their purchasing decision wasn't based on Elon Musk, it was based on the fucking vehicle, the product itself. I know, crazy idea. It's wild. And of course, where this is going now is Elon bad, Elon bad, Elon bad. Therefore, does that mean that Tesla sales will slow down because Elon bad? Because he has some opinions? And once again, the Elon fanboys and the Elon haters are irrelevant specks in the scheme of things. Of course, many on both camps are very loud, but as a percentage of overall consumers, they don't move the needle, not even close. It's important not to be fooled by the very vocal minority or virtue signalers in particular. I'm not buying a Tesla, I'm going to buy a Rivian now, etc. Not naming names explicitly, crying out loud on X just to show everybody what a good person they are because Elon bad and I disapprove of Elon. Therefore, let me tell you that I'm a good person because I'm no longer supporting Elon because Elon bad. Do you like me? Do you approve of me? Please don't leave my fund. Those loud voices don't matter, possibly in more ways than one. They're specs. They're irrelevant. They're just noisy.
Discussion around Elon Musk with X, with his colorful interview and commentary toward advertisers. Does that draw people in or push them away?
I think there's still a question there because to some it emboldens them. In terms of Musk, what he represents, he's the anti. That's I affiliate with the Tesla. But then on the other hand, you alienate. And the problem for I think Tesla investors, when you sell consumer products to the masses, you don't want controversy. But again, Musk is Musk, goes the beat of a different drum, and you see, and that's we saw that maybe overshadow a bit in terms of what happened at the New York Times event, the Cybertruck unveiling. That's 4 years in the making. But at the end of the day, Musk will continue to, I think, innovate, and especially when it comes to Cybertruck, a historical moment.
What did you think about what happened this week?
I think it's one where it's the last thing you want to see as a Tesla bull, to see something like that come and ultimately overshadow what was going to be Cybertruck. But as we all know, Musk is Musk. And it goes back to what we've talked about a lot in the show. When he bought Twitter, the $44 billion mistake, in my opinion, which now, let's say X is worth $5 to $8 billion. This is always the worry. It just adds that tornado factor. Because with Musk, if you give him a mic, you never know what's going to happen.
Sure.
And that's part of the problem here. And even though many could say, it's great, go get him. Okay, but there's a business there. It's been essentially taken out with debt. So eventually that you're going to have to pay someone in terms of what's happened with X.
I think you just put a Dan Ives multiple on X there with that valuation, but we'll come back to that another time. I want to talk about margins just a little bit more.
Of course they want to talk about margins, because after all, Tesla's short-term margins are the only thing that matters. Please, let's talk more about margins.
Massive opportunity, if you didn't have this truck, to keep on pushing and squeezing Ford and GM. GM have come out with numbers this week, basically telling us that the labour market contract, the labour contract, would add an additional $575 per vehicle. At Ford, it's upwards of $900. Does this truck complicate their effort to really put the squeeze on Ford and GM in the way they have done over the last year?
I think it does a little, because ultimately, when you look at the UAW debacle and the 313 error code, it's put Farley, Barr, it's put back against the wall. And that adds to the cost. I think where they're going to squeeze them continues to really be on that 40 to 50K price points in terms of sedans. That's what they're going after. But that's also why Mary, and you've seen from Farley as well, they're kind of coming back a little from the edge, not maybe going full EV, where Tesla's actually going the opposite. And that's essentially what's happening right now. This is all a game of high stakes poker. And I think everyone's trying to figure out what Musk's next move is in 2024.
And who it's catered to. I mean, that's another question, too, because the audiences of Ford and GM much more focused domestically, whereas Elon Musk has a big audience in China as well. How much is the Cybertruck geared toward American buyers, and how much is it geared toward international buyers?
Yeah, and Lisa, that's a great point, because look, China, the hearts and lungs of the Tesla growth story, it is in China, 45% of demand. And I think what really he's focused on here with Cybertruck, it's, first of all, it's showing from an innovation technology perspective just how far they are, but the opportunity, even though it's starting in the US, it is international. It's Europe, it's China, and I think that's really the global focus of Tesla. You look at Ford, there's many that have kind of customers fought against going toward an EV. I'm a traditional F-150, I'm not going to go there. Dealers have fought against it,
yes,
and they've heard it loud and clear in Detroit.
Do you think
It's interesting, by the way, more than a week on, maybe a week and a half since Cybertruck first deliveries, a lot of viral videos, especially on YouTube, from some major channels with millions of subscribers and millions of views. The commentary on those videos is telling many traditional truck buyers who were ideologically opposed to electric vehicles, for whatever reason, really did not want Tesla to succeed. Many of these folks now are literally, in their own words, admitting, you know what, I hated Tesla, I hated electric vehicles, I hate this, I still hate this, but guess what? I'm buying a Cybertruck. We're starting to see the conversion happen in real time, and that should be a very scary thought for companies like Ford and GM, who thought they'd be able to rely on the loyalty of their customers to continue to sell average vehicles in the marketplace, in which consumers also have the option of buying a Cybertruck. If they have any sense at all, no doubt they are shitting bricks.
it's attractive?
Look, the Mad Max vehicle, and I remember when you talked about that in 2019, I think we talked about that together. I believe, I get it, it's on the edge, but I think it's innovative, it's new, and it's something where Tesla is not going to go down the typical path of other automakers. And that's why, like, look, when I see you driving this in New York about 6-9 months from now.
TK in the passenger seat.
TK in the passenger
Amazing.
seat. It's with Cybertruck, it's going to be
Can you take
awesome.
the roof off? The roof come off?
But you could be in the back as well. So it's going to be super interesting.
Super interesting is a major understatement. In fact, just wanted to end on this note. Wherever on the Daily Mail, Serena Williams takes Miami in new Tesla Cybertruck with husband Alexis Ohanian, who was the first batch of customers to get the futuristic car. So, are we noticing something? Pseudo-tabloid, trash, celebrity, paparazzi-style coverage of people who matter, because we said so, being seen in a Cybertruck. This is apparently newsworthy. Remember when I said, just you wait until the celebrities, athletes, rappers take delivery of their Cybertrucks and are spotted out and about? This is going to replay over and over and over and over again. Think about all the Serena Williams fanboys and fangirls who don't know a single thing about Tesla and or Cybertruck, but they do know about everything that's said in the media about Serena Williams. They see this, what the fuck is that? That's ugly. But Serena's in it. Maybe I should get one. This is going to happen countless times. Every time somebody with a high profile is seen out and about in a Cybertruck, more coverage like this, which only helps Tesla's cause. The world is not ready for Cybertruck, which is too fucking bad because it's here. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. It's an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a fuck ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point and something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy. Wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, Snake Oil Salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link at the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links at the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.